Hey everybody, and welcome back to Getting Stronger. And I'm pretty excited because this is the very first editorial video I'm making for the channel. Editorial in that it's pretty much just me spouting out my opinion about something. And hopefully you'll enjoy it. You'll find it useful. If you do, at the end, please leave a comment down below. Let me know one way or the other. If you want me to do more of these, I'll leave some topics out and I'll share my opinion on them. Please make sure to give us a thumbs up if you do like it, and hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. With that being said, if you guys are anything like me, you guys got to be going crazy like I am. I'm totally going out of my mind here during this lockdown. But hey, they say good things, bad things, everything comes to an end. And so one way or the other, I'm pretty sure this virus has to come to an end as well. And so until it does, please stay safe. But there is one good thing that has come out of this, and that's this virus has really forced us all to take stock and reevaluate what's important to us. People are having to come face to face with the reality that their health is something that they never realized how much they cared about until now. And so since we're dealing with a time where people are taking extraordinary measures and precautions to protect and preserve their health, I just wanted to take advantage of this and share my thoughts on a sentiment that I hear all the time. And I usually don't say much about it, but I just kind of wanted to take this opportunity to share my thoughts about it, and maybe it'll help you. And as a personal trainer, a YouTube fitness influencer, a student at university for sports and fitness, I get into a lot of conversations, man. And a lot of those conversations are about exercise, and I'm trying to convince people to exercise. And normally it's about going to a gym, getting a membership. But since the world has changed, now the conversation has turned towards getting exercise equipment for your house. And, there's tons of things you can get based on how much space you have. You can get barbells with weights. You can get dumbbells, medicine balls, Bosu balls, slam balls, stability balls, resistance bands, pull-up bars for your doorway, whatever. All of these things are absolutely fantastic. But recently, the one piece of equipment that I've been recommending more than anything are jumping ropes. Here in England, they call them skipping ropes. And if you follow this channel, you realize very quickly that I jump rope a lot. It's pretty much my primary conditioning method. If you're wondering why that is, ask me down in the comment section below, and I'll make another video explaining why I love jumping rope so much and why I think you should love jumping rope so much. But for this evening, I want to kind of stick to this idea that really troubles me that I hear. Oftentimes people ask me two things, basically, which is what kind of ropes do you use and what kind of ropes do you recommend I get? I then usually tell them that I exclusively use ropes from a company called Cross Rope. And, I recommend that they get them and use them as well. And I almost always get the same response, which is, man, those things are expensive. Well, that's the sentiment that I really want to talk about tonight, this notion that exercise equipment, and specifically cross rope, jump ropes, are too expensive. But just in general, this idea that people don't want to invest money into exercise equipment or into their health in general because they say it's expensive. So the first thought that comes to my mind, and the first question that I typically want to ask them is, how do you determine when something is expensive? So for me, I typically have two criteria. If something meets one of these two, I would say it's expensive. The first is the price for this product way more than all the other products out there on the market that do the exact same thing, right? Identical products. If the price for this is way more than all these other things that do the exact same thing, yeah, I'd probably say it's expensive. The second is the price higher than what the average person in the Western world could afford? The median income here in America, I think, is like $40,000 to $45,000. And, we have financial planners that tell us how much we should be spending on things. We know how much of that money, how much of our income we should be spending on food per month, transportation per month, entertainment per month, mortgage, housing, all these things we know. So if something is so expensive that the average person making about $40,000 to $50,000 a year just absolutely could not afford it, then I would say, yeah, that's probably on the expensive side. But based on these two criteria, in this definition? I would say absolutely not. Cross ropes are not expensive. Now, let me explain to you why I say that. So for starters, when deciding whether something's expensive, you got to compare apples to apples, man. You got to compare products that do the exact same thing. You can't compare Ferrari to a Kia and then say, oh, this costs $200,000, this costs $20,000, therefore this is expensive. You can't do that. A Kia doesn't do what a Ferrari does. They're not equal products. You can't compare them. In order to compare or in order to see if a Ferrari is expensive, you got to compare it to other luxury exotic cars that do the exact same thing and then see if you're paying extra for the Ferrari or way extra for the Ferrari. Analogous to that, you can't go to Walmart and get a $5 rope and then compare it to a $80 rope from Cross Rope and then say, oh, look, this is expensive. They're not in the same ballpark. A $5 rope does not do the same thing. It does not provide you the same function and quality and capability as an $80 cross rope. So you cannot compare the two. So if you look at other high-end jump ropes that are going to last you years, that are never going to break, that are going to spin and rotate really great so that you don't, hurt your wrist, et cetera, et cetera. If you compare all the high-end jump ropes charging the exact same thing, give or take $10. Check out the prices of jump ropes from Rogue and other places on Amazon. They're pretty much all the same when you get into the higher end, comparable, similar jump ropes. I don't think that the cross rope meets that criteria. And then the second criteria, I don't think spending $80 to $100 is out of most of our budgets. Consider this. Most people that I know would spend or do spend $80, $100, $120, $130 a month every single month for cable just to sit at home and watch TV. People will spend that much on one meal when they go out with their friends or their family. They'll spend that amount of money quickly on a ticket to a concert that a week from now they won't even remember. Ask them what the set list was. What did they wear? What did they play? What was the stage, et cetera, et cetera. They don't remember, but they'll drop $150, $200 to go for a sporting event. They'll do the exact same thing for the tickets, the parking, the food, the drinks, et cetera, and they'll never think twice. But then you recommend to someone that they spend, $80 to $100 on a piece of exercise equipment for themselves and their family. And all of a sudden, I don't understand it, but everybody becomes broke. Everybody's broke. Nobody's got any money, and I really don't understand that because I'm really starting to think that the problem isn't our budget. It's our values. I find that people, when they love something, care about something, value something, treasure something, they find the money to spend on it, right? So I'm beginning to think that despite how eager we are to try to convince people that we care about our health, especially during like campaign times, right, election season, all we ever care about is our health care, right? Now that this virus is out, all we care about is our health care, and our health. But I'm beginning to think that the way we spend our money suggests otherwise. I think what we really care about and what we really value and treasure is entertainment. Given the choice, entertainment or health, entertainment's almost always going to win. And this really bothers me. And so if this is a description of you, if this is how you are, where you'll spend $150 a month for cable or whatever to go out, but yet you think in your mind that, oh man, a $70 gym membership, that's kind of expensive, right? If that's you, then consider this. Imagine you could magically pop into the hospital. You could visit somebody there with coronavirus. They're on a respirator. They can't breathe, right? And you just somehow had the power to grant them one wish. And you told them that. How many of those people do you think would use that wish so that they could get the opportunity to just go home and watch TV one more time? How many of those people do you think that they would use that wish to just be able to go home and be able to watch their favorite TV show one more time? I don't think many would. I think most people would use that wish to get their health back. I think they would wish to feel better, right? I think if we just consider that and we start really focusing our attention and shifting our values away from entertainment and back to our health, I don't think that spending $80 to $120 for some equipment that you can use, your family can use, your spouse, your kids, your neighbors, for years and years and years on end, and you can throw it in your bag and take it anywhere with you in the world. I don't think that would be considered expensive. I think you would spend the money without even thinking about it if that's what you really, really valued. We only really hate spending money on things that we don't care about. When we love something or care about something, man, we'll drop money without even thinking about it. So hopefully we'll start to really be honest with ourselves about what we really care about. Now, if you genuinely can't afford exercise equipment for your home, if you can't afford a good rope, for instance, then just go to Walmart and buy the $5 rope. Use it as best you can, but try to save your money to get a better rope. And I'll tell you why. People always say first impressions are lasting, and that's true about a lot of things, and exercise is the same. A cheap $5 rope is going to leave a really bad taste in your mouth. They tangle up all the time. They don't turn well. They break. You always have to replace them. Just pretty much in general, it's going to ensure that you have the worst possible experience known to man. And you're pretty much going to quit. Whenever people have experiences that are really, really negative, especially on the first experience, people typically just walk away from it. And that's a really bad thing. I don't want that for you, because all exercise programs, to be successful, have to be sustainable. And if you absolutely hate to do something, then it's not sustainable. You're not going to keep up with it. So anyway, that's it. That's my first editorial on this notion that exercise, health investments are too expensive for us. I think we just need to shift our values back to our health and stop using our budget as an excuse, and just acknowledge that the problem isn't our budget, it's our values. So anyway, until next time, always remember that Psalms 139 verse 14 tells us that we're all fearfully and wonderfully made, and we come from the hand of our Creator above. And tonight I'm actually going to share some of Jesus's words. And if you look in Matthew chapter 6, verses 19 to 21, Jesus makes this statement: lay not up for yourselves treasures here on earth, where moth and rust can destroy and thieves can break in and steal, but instead lay up for yourself treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust can destroy and thieves cannot break in and steal. A modern day interpretation of that is simple. Some things matter, some things don't. And the one thing that coronavirus is teaching us is that what really matters the most is our health. And so for the rest of the day, whatever you eat, whatever you drink, and whatever you do, just please keep getting stronger.